So welcome back guys in this video. So in this video we'll be going through the actual coding of the bot, and so we're going to open up PyCharm, and so we'll create a new project. So we'll just save it. You can save it anywhere you want. So in my case I'll just save it in there, and then so you select the interpreter. So if it's not there automatically, you can just select it. So that is the essence of us first downloading Python. So that will be our interpreter, and then so not empty, so like it, yep. So we are trying to create up a new project, so where we'll be saving our so here it opens up. So welcome to PyCharm. So you can see the tips, so I'll skip them for now. So we are going to save Python, and then we create a new file. So Python file, then call it file share. So there we are. So we have created the file called file share down right there. So we can maximize up this, and we can first extend that. So this is our Python file, which is blank and new. So it's where we are going to be entering the necessary code and commands for our Telegram bot. So what we are going to start with is we are going to import so let me first increase the font size of the editor, such that you guys can be able to see very clearly. So font size should edit it to let me go to the change the appearance from black, and so guys, I've changed the look of PyCharm, because I think it was causing eye problems to you guys, viewers of the video. So have a bit increased the font size, and also from black background to white, which I think it's very now very easy for you guys to follow along. So the first thing we are going to do in our code is we are going to call our teleport module. So what we're going to do first is import. So no Python interpreter configured for the project. So what we are going to do is we have to configure it like so. So tap there on the drop down and select Python 3.6 and press OK. So it should make the pop-up to disappear. So what we'll have to do, we have to increase the font size of the actual code. Right, let me first put that to 14, and then editor, then the font, then I take it to something like 14, 16 probably. Yeah, so then okay. So I think that is clear enough. So we'll import teleport, the teleport module. There is an E right there. Yeah, then so this Python interpreter should have disappeared by now. So I'll figure it out, and so it will, after like indexing and updating the interpreter packages, then it will make this pop-up right here, no Python interpreter configured for the project, disappear. So when it loads up and it finishes, then it will automatically disappear. So after importing the teleport module, in this case, because it's what we'll be basing on to create our bot, so create the module, then rather import the module, and then we are going to use a class, and like we are going to be using object-oriented programming, so we are going to first create a class, and so we can name it anything like my class, for example, and then so we can first leave it for now, and then we can also create. So the most important bit of the token we received earlier on is that the token you generate is going to be like an identifier for like your bot. So in this case, we will need to create a variable which will be holding our token. So we'll head back to Telegram, and so we copy we are going to copy the entire token from there, and then we paste it there. So we are going to make it a string. So let me first delete that and create the quote single quotes, and then save it. And so we are also going to use like a method. So we'll be putting in methods in our class right there, and then so we can leave to space there because of pep 8 and because it's a class. So what we are going to do else is we are going to create an object for our class. So the object, we can call it file share. Can file share, and then we assign it to our class. Yeah, so then we can also create a function which will be holding the different commands. So like we have a class where we'll be putting in the different methods, and then we create our so now we are going to create a function which will be having the different commands for our bot. So we can create our function, and we call it can call it like file share function for this case. And so we can then start create like the normal Python functions. Like basically will be rather normal Python assignments, whereby we'll be basically basing on teleport methods. So when you go through the teleport documentation, you will see the different methods the module supports, the functions, and so we'll also be combining it with the Telegram bot API to create our bot. So from there, what we will do is we will go back to our PyCharm, and then what we will do finally is we will assign a variable bot to our token, like the token we are going to create to call the teleport.bot function from we are going to call the bot method from teleport such that it stores our variable in bot. So we'll say teleport.bot, and then we enter our token variable. So that is basically so we can first leave that for now for the function, and then we are just going to make this everything be running in a loop, because if it's not a loop then it will just execute once and then stop. So what we'll do, we'll use the message loop method, and then we enter the parameters. So the first parameter is bot, and then the next one is going to be a dictionary, which will have chat as the key, and then our value is going to be the function in this case, which is file share function. So just copy paste and then put it there. So that is the second parameter is a dictionary, and you know dictionary has a key and value. So then we will make it run as thread. So we are invoking a loop in this case. So this is basically our skeleton, the code skeleton, which will just be, so this is basically I can say the skeleton of our bot. And so I just want to eliminate the warnings from because of pep 8. So that is fine. So this is basically our skeleton, which whereby in most cases you might need to, in case you are creating another bot, you might need to use it again, just because you will just need to edit the different methods you'll be using. But it is basically our skeleton will be using for different bots. You can create a bot for different purposes, because now this skeleton can be used to implement any bot. So yeah, so now we can start creating the different functions, the different methods for our bot and the tasks. So what we'll start with is we are going to create in our file share function, we are going to enter there our commands. So we will start with, let's first start with saving the content type, for example, if it is a document or audio file, if it is document, if it is file, movie, whatever, or text, or content type. Basically we are going to get a variable which will save the content type, and then to also save the chat type and then the chat ID. So we'll do that by coding up something like this: content type, and then the chat type and the chat ID. So we'll be saving all that, rather all, we are going to, every variable here, content type will save the type of the type of the content, then chat type will save the type of the chat. Chat type we have different, so it can be a channel chat, it can be group chat, private chat. So it will be saving a different chat type. And then chat ID is basically every Telegram user has a different chat ID, so chat ID variable will be saving that from this function right here, teleport, right here, then dot glance, then we want the message, we want it to get the different values from the message. So we'll pass in the message parameter right there, and then we pass it in that function right there, the method basically. So with that, we have the variables, we have the values for the content type, the chat type, and the chat ID stored in the different variables. So now we need to isolate the different content types. So that is basically the upper root of identifying everything, every message they send to your bot. So we'll save it in, so we'll check if the content type is text, and then we perform different tasks. So if content type, so here we need to equal sign is equal to text, so that should be a string. So we are checking if the content type is text. So let's first see what our bot will do if the content type is text. So let's first start with the welcome message. So if message and the text of the message, in the text of the message is something like is start. So when you click on the start button when you're just starting up with your bot, so it will be a text message, and if that text message is equal to start, then our bot should send something like so bot.send message. So this here we are sending a message back to the user using the chat ID. So from it will be replying back to where replying back to someone who has sent the message to read. So it will send something like hi, anything like I can hope you send any file to your channel, yeah, something like that. Yeah, so very simple enough. So with that we can, so there we have the welcome message covered. So